I wanted to make this video and show you how to create a paper clip. These are paper clips if you don't know. This is a paper clip. And I got the most rustic looking kind there is. I don't know if you can see how it looks like it's got a lot of, I think it's called acid wash or something, but it's just aged. These are very old ones that I've had for years and never used them. And they're made out of probably nickel or pewter or something like that because they break quite easily if you're not careful. So anyways, I use those and I make paper clips that mimic the ones that were back in those days. For making Sadie Adler's, I had to do some research and I found out that basically it was back in 1901. So around that era, I went from 1900 to about 20 something. I wanted to see what the different kinds of paper clips they had back then. So this is one. You can go online and find a poster that shows you all the different years and stuff. But this is originally what we're used to. This is what they used to make for paper clips. Believe it or not. Go look if you don't believe me. There's that one. I'm not going to take them all off. I'm just going to show them on the paper. Okay. This one here. This one I can't show you unless I take it off. So here's one that was very popular back then. Sorry if it doesn't want to focus. Again, this is the original, the way we see them. And the wires, they would of course use just straight wire, and then they would create, let me throw that away before I end up getting it in my foot. Hopefully that went in there. I don't know if it went in there or not. It was a long piece too. But anyways, to get this shape here is time consuming, but you have to be just precise, and had to work it until I figured out how I can make it almost look just like the ones they did back then. And again, I'll get it close enough so you can see. That's what it looks like. And all I got it from was a straight piece like this. And this straight piece came from these. All I did was straighten them out with my tools. So there's that one. And they just go on just like, well actually I want it to go this side. Just like that. Just like a paper clip. Okay. I don't know if you can see that here. I'll bring it closer. Whee! Even closer so you can see it. There it is on that side. There it is on that side. And then when you take it off, this is what it looks like. No different really than a regular paper clip if you think about it. But they are cool. They are cool to make, especially when it's a journal that is themed. Like mine is themed around the 1900s, early 1900s, I'm sorry, because it wasn't that long ago, even though kids today are like, oh my God, you're just so old. 19th century? Yeah, 19th century wasn't but 20 years ago, honey. Wasn't that long ago. Wait till you turn about 30 years old, and then you're going to be like, oh, that wasn't that long ago. So anyways, all I did was I kept my camera, it's in yonder, I kept my camera right here where I could keep an eye on all the different kinds they have. And then I could choose which ones I went with. And I'm going to show you the one I just showed you. And there's tons of different kinds that were also very indicative of that era. Now the reason why I want to show you this, I'm going to keep you close so you can see. Hopefully I don't forget. You know what, I'm going to do this. Hopefully it doesn't kill my camera's color. You can still see what I'm doing? No. Nope, nope. We'll use this trace paper. How about that? That'll work. Okay, so all I do is I get a pair of regular small handle, these are small ones, of needle nose pliers. See, they're flat. And then you have the jewelry version. I don't know what they're called. I'm just saying they're pliers. But they're needle nose that are really round, as you can see, because they're meant for jewelry. Well, these are the ones you're going to really, really need. And, I mean, because you can even probably use the bottom like that, too. I don't know. But in order to get that flat, let me take that back off because I need that. In order to get this one, you need to remember there's a flat spot right there. See the flat? Then it comes down and it crisscrosses. And that is indicative of another era of that, which was their era. Here's a bigger one. That's what it originates from. That's how big it is originally. See? You just curl these corners up to make them look like that. That's all. And you go from the outside and you go in like that. Okay? You don't go under. You go over and in. Because if you go under, I don't really know. I don't know why they didn't do it under. But it is what it is. But yeah, we're going to make this one out of this. Because I don't want to change this up. This was actually one very popular kind back then. Yeah, just plain Jane. They call it, you know, just plain. So we're going to go about... I need enough room. And you're going to go in this flat spot right here. Be careful. Don't go on your cutter part. So right about there. Okay, I need to make sure... Hang on. I'll use this one. So if I do this here... Oh yeah, I'll have plenty of room. Too much room, if anything. So I'm probably going to bring it down just a smidge. What about there? Now all you're going to do is you're going to take your hand and you're going to bend that down and this one down. Just like that. Kind of like a staple. Okay? Looks like a long staple. Actually, you could use long staples to do this with, just saying. Even though staples are a lot more, they're thicker than this stuff is. The big staples I'm talking about. The ones that you use in your gardens or tack your furniture's cloth to make upholstery. But anyways, you're just going to go and you're going to crisscross this side just a tad and then this side. Just like that. And that's how you get that one. And you're done. See? You just cut where you need it to be cut. So I'm going to say right about there. Okay. There you go. This side is still too long. I always do that, don't I? Still too long. Oh, good grief. You want them to be exactly the same so you get the same look. Okay, that should be. Oh, only one came out of my hand. I don't know where the other one went to. Probably went flying somewhere. Anyways, that's close enough. It's still a little bit longer than the other side, but that's fine. Not a big deal. Now, you go in from this. This is the original, the way they would do. This is the one that was the most popular. Because it's simple, easy to make, easier to produce. Okay? And then, in order to get this pretty one, because, you know, as women, we always like the fancy side of everything. You're just going to take your needle nose pliers that are for jewelry making. And hopefully I can get this to focus on what I'm doing. We're going to move these so it doesn't focus on that and it focus on me. Come on, focus on my hand. Focus here. No, still got something in the picture, that's why. Get out of the picture. There's that other piece. Found it. Okay, now you're going to focus on my hand. There's nothing back there. Come on now. There we go. Now all you're going to do is you're going to grab the end piece here. And you're just slowly going to turn it just a little bit. You're going to go up here to the big thick part, and then you're going to grip it like that and bending it in, just like that. So just grab it and start rolling it, kind of a thing. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, because I guarantee you they didn't have it perfect back then. And there you go. You got your first one. Sorry about my camera not focusing. Come on. So there you go. You got the first one done. Now we need to do this one here. So let's go ahead and grab that one. Remember to go on point and make it curl up to this corner here. Kind of thing. Not all the way. I'm not saying literally go all the way up here, okay? I mean just like you're heading that way, in other words. And we're just going to barely get that started, and then we're going to twerk it inwards. They don't have to be perfect, like I said. Bring it back up. There you go. But you want to make sure those are pointing outward like that. Make sure they're flat against the other piece of the metal, if that makes sense. There we go. And when I say it needs to be against the other piece of metal, let me get my hands up here so it'll focus on my hands. I need something pointy. Hang on. I'll get my grandmother's needle. It's more pointy. Okay. So when you're curling it up, make sure it touches that, like this one Make sure it's touching that. Make sure it isn't coming up this way. Make sure it's not going that way or this way. That piece right there that you curled up. Because otherwise it's just going to hit your paper and rip your paper or cut it. One. Okay? Now that's one right there. And you pretty much got that one done. We got it done together.